need to know. And here's why you want to choose one particular school or one particular program over another, right? Because you are making a commitment for 3 years, right? When you are applying, and that is something that I want you to really think about. When you are applying to a program and you are, really lucky enough to have your child come to a Regional Learning Choices program, please remember that you're signing up your child for 3 years, right? It is a 3-year program. A lot of the parents sometimes will say, hey, they'll go for grade 6. Please really make, choices that are good for your family, right? Here are some of the things that really matter. Location for you, right? One of the things that, and this is new as of this year, yes, children will get busing, right? Because this is the one thing that really matters that we get a question about this every year, and the answer was always no up until this year. Your child will get busing next year, right? However, you also want to think about, if my child is on the bus for 3 hours, is this really a good experience for my child? And this is what we always want to talk to families about. You are buying into an experience. You're signing up for your child to have an experience in a Regional Learning Choices program. Ours specifically is with a focus on business, right? As you can tell with a lot of the offers that we have here for students, we offer all of the same kinds of opportunities that lots of other schools may offer, right? But in this program, your child is going to be learning the curriculum through very much a business lens. They will be learning how to start their own businesses, how to market their businesses, how to function, how to account for things. That's just one component. Nobody really just comes out and starts a business or anything else. So the grade 6s, for example, today were telling me, we are finally starting, we're going to be starting today. And I said to them, of course, because before you can start a business or you can start thinking in a business kind of mind, you actually need to have a plan. And you need to learn a few things. You need to figure some stuff out. You can't just one day show up and do it. And they were like, yeah, that's true, right? So you've now been here for 5 months or 4 months, and this is what we do. We talk about these things, we learn a lot of different things, and this is how it becomes, right? So, just to avoid, we wanted to, because lots of parents have lots of questions about things like, what kinds of clubs do you have? What kinds of experiences do the kids have? So we thought we would show you, right? So if you were able to walk around, you can see the different kinds of things. Yes, we have lots of different robotics. Yes, we have Peel Skills. Yes, we do First Lego League. Yes, we do Vex Robotics. Yes, we do all of those kinds of things. Yes, our announcements are digital for students. Yes, we do lots and lots and lots of those things as a whole school experience, right? And that's why we want you to think about Lisgar as a place where you want your child to go. Because I will tell you, we are the best middle school in the Peel District School Board, bar none. It has nothing to do with me, really. It has everything to do with the children you send us and the amazing staff that we have here who are part of the program. And I'm going to introduce them to you so that some of them are still kind of, in places helping the kids out. So I will start with some of them who are here. Ms. Hooting, who is running a lot of the things tonight as well, and she's one of our grade 8 teachers. Mr. Elsad, and if your child is in grade 6, they will be with Mr. Elsad. And his partner over there is Ms. Shazinski, and that's one of our other grade 6 teachers. And over here we have our grade 7 team, which is Mr. Plesko and Ms. Goodwin, right? And somewhere around here, probably helping out with something else, is also Miss Miles. And she is the other, yeah, they're jumping up and down upstairs from back there because those are her kids from her class, right? And she's the other grade 8 teacher. So what I'm trying to tell you is, if your child is coming to Lisgar Middle School, they will be full of a full middle school experience, right? All of those components, as well as they will have an amazing staff that is going to be working with them for the 3 years. They work collaboratively all the time. That means that the team works as a team. Everything they do is a team. Part of the experience is that your child will also be going lots of places, doing different things as part of the program, and they will do so as a team. That's a very important component. So one of the things at Lisgar, because we are an international business and technology team, the very important things in the school are leadership, technology, business. The kids here run everything, as you can tell. The leadership is not in the staff, it's with the students. The students are the ones who make the difference. They come to us with proposals, we then help them put these things into practice, right? What do they need and how do they do it? So leadership is really very much about the students. As we said, we are a business school, so therefore our students open up lots of businesses. As you saw, coffee cart. We have all kinds of things, snack shack in lunchtime that the students run. The students run all of these things. They do all of the accounting, they do all of the marketing, they do many of these kinds of things as students from IBT, as well as your child is going to be part of the Lisgar school community, interacting with all the other students, right? All of these things. The leadership opportunities, as you saw, whether it's athletic council, whether it's drama clubs, whether it's band, music, whatever the case may be, the leadership lies with the students, right? They are here to learn, and they are here to grow, and we are here to support them to do that. So, again, I know lots of things on the slides you can actually, see as well. As you saw that at the beginning, if you were paying any attention, many of our students actually participated in the lunar rover. So the spaceship is actually going up in space today. So they are very proud because they were able to be part of the launch, and they actually programmed and actually practiced the lunar rover themselves, and they were part of the team who was working on that. In their grade 6 year, they happened to win a competition right across Canada, and they were number one, and that was the experience they were able to have. So, that's just one of the things. That's just one small thing that happens around here, right? But all of the applause goes to the students, and all of the applause goes to the staff who work with them. So, in case you're wondering, there's not a specific curriculum. There's not an extra curriculum if you are in a regional learning choices program, right? The curriculum is the Ontario curriculum. Your child will have French, your child will have music, your child will have math, your child will have language, your child will have science, all of those subjects. They will learn all of those, but in this program, they will be using a lens of business in order to access that curriculum. So when they're looking at things, they're going to be like, well, in the business world, how would we solve that problem? So we have let's say it's an issue in the environment. So what would that look like from a business perspective? And the reason I keep telling you this is that if your child has zero interest in entrepreneurship, there are lots of other regional learning choices programs, right? But if your child has lots of interest in entrepreneurship and leadership and collaborating and marketing and all of those aspects of things, and they're also really great at sports, well, this is a great school to be, right? Because we have sports teams, and your child would be able to access all of those as well, right? So again, the Ontario curriculum, nothing changes. They will still get marks. They will still get, I'm the one having trouble today, okay? Again, so they will study that curriculum and experience lots of the skills and the knowledge that comes from that through that business lens. I think I might have missed a slide at the beginning. No, I did not, but we'll get back to it, okay? Some of the things that you're also going to be asking, and again, program, in terms of the boundary for the school, you do have to live in the region of Peel to be eligible to apply. If you're currently in a private school and you live in the Peel region, you are still eligible to apply, okay? Our boundary, and it will show you on the map what that looks like. Those are our students participating in the first Lego League. Actually, their tournament is this Saturday. They're going to the provincials, so that's another fantastic opportunity for them. So you can take a look because there is a IBT school as well in the south, there's one out here in the west, and there's one up north. So depending on where you live is the school that you will apply to. In case you, by your address, you have applied to the wrong school, we will fix that for you. We will call you and we'll say your application actually needs to go to Williams Parkway. Please don't panic. We will just submit it to them for you. So please don't panic. If some mistakes have happened, that's why we were going to be doing one of those things. Very important date that you need to write down, and you need to make sure that you leave open. February 26th. Our participation component is in person. If we have 500 applicants, we will have 500 applicants, students, go through the participation component on that day. Please make sure that you have that date open, right? We will email you to let you know what time your child will need to be here. Usually they come about a half an hour before for the participation component. You know, you will be able to sit down or have a coffee or like leave and then pick them up while they go through it. And they will do a kind of a written component, which is math and language, and then they will do a collaborative component when they're going to be working in a group and we are assessing sort of how are they doing. Before you grill your child at home with math questions and language questions and all of those kinds of things, there is nothing they need to do to prepare. Please don't make them do anything. They don't need to study. They just need to come and be themselves. We want to see them just themselves. All of the things that they're going to be asked about are going to be from the grade 5 curriculum. We're not going to ask them physics or anything, questions or anything like that. So please understand that they're only going to be asked the kinds of things that they already know and are doing in class anyways, right? It's part of the curriculum. And the participation component, before you worry about it, again, they're going to work in a group, they're going to be given a challenge, and they're going to solve that challenge together as a group. So there's nothing that you can do, like don't have them start playing with their siblings and tell them to play nice, right? It's none of that. Like just bring your child, let them be themselves. Please don't put any pressure on them on that day. We just need to have them here. We just need them to feel good about the, what they're doing, because we actually want them to be part of the program. They need to want to be here, right? They also need to want to come to the school, okay? And that's the, so please make sure that you make that date available, because I can't tell you right now if your appointment's going to be at 9 o'clock or if it's going to be at 11 o'clock. Once all of the applications come in, we organize them into teams, and then we will let you know. You will bring them. They will be here for about an hour and a half, and then you can take them back to school. But please make yourself available on that date, right? Because we can't really tell you that. But February 26th. And if I can just also please tell you that everything is done, online, right? So your application is online, all of the email is online. If anyone's ever told you this in any of the other information nights or they haven't, please make sure that you use an email address that you check regularly, because all communication is via email to you, okay? So if you're using some kind of email that you don't usually check, or it's your child's email, a lot of times the ball gets dropped. People miss the information that they need to have. If they forgot to submit something and we need something from them, then we can't get in touch with them, because we're going based on your information that you have given us, okay? So please use an email password that you can remember, because that also happens. People are like, I used whatever password, now, you know what I mean, it was generated, and now I don't know what it is, and I can't figure it out, and, all of those things that happen. So those are two really important things, right? So please make sure you have that date available, and please make sure that you have an email address that you know how to, you actually are going to access on a regular basis. Okay, so the program boundary is, as you can tell, is the Brampton-Mississauga city limits to, to the north, Hurontario Street and McLaughlin Road to the east, Highway 403 to the south, and 9th line to the west. That is the catchment from which we will be taking students. So our students live as far as, pretty kind of central Mississauga to all the way to here, right? So that's why I'm saying to you, if you have kids, because a lot of the times parents will ask me things like, I have kids now in 3 different schools, what do I do? Those are the decisions that you have to make, right, as a family. I can't tell you what to do. But if that's what you want for your child, if this is what your child wants, that's also what you need to consider. How are we going to manage all of those kinds of things, right? About making sure that my child gets here on time, even if there's busing and all of those kinds of components, right? So please think all of those things through. They're very practical things that you have to consider. The same way that when your child's going to be applying to college or university, you also have to consider lots of practical things, right? It's kind of the same idea, right? Does this work for us? Do you really want to be somewhere like 6 hours away? Is that going to work for our family, right? So please consider all of those components as you apply. Okay, these are our students. They went to Google this year, to the actual Google, and they had a great time, and our staff told us that they didn't really want to work in a school anymore. They wanted to work at Google. We really can't afford to buy any of those things or provide any of the things that they have there because we are still a public school. We are trying. So, in relation to that, when you ask, what does the money that I pay for the program go to? What are you spending it on? Stuff like this. Opportunities for students to go out into the world, to access all kinds of opportunities, to see different businesses, to be able to afford all of the VEX robotics and all of those kinds of things. We get none of the money, right? It all goes towards students. It would be illegal for us to even do anything but spend it on students. And it's spent on your child in the program. So all of those costs for the program, the application fees, so that we can actually process all of your application and everything else, as well as all of the program fees go right back to your child, right? So think of it as an investment in your child. You're not paying us, you're investing back into your child. Okay, so in terms of this, right, again, as I said, when you're coming to Lisgar Middle School and you are coming to our International Business and Technology program, you are really coming for the experience of all of that it offers. Now, many of our parents ask, so what are you looking for, right? In terms of what are you actually looking for in a student? Because don't forget, we have lots of applicants, just like lots of other regional learning choices programs. But in grade 6, we take 56 students, right? That's the limit. We have been asking the board to give us more, but they say no. We keep asking, right? Because we would love to have lots and lots more, but we are limited to that as all other regional learning choices programs, right? So what are we looking for, right? We are looking for things such as this, right? Business and entrepreneurship, innovation. That is, where we're going in the world. As you know, it's changing faster and faster all the time. That is why our students are the ones who are leading and moving us forward, because the innovation is coming from them. They innovate the things that are happening around the school. They provide us with the, with the ideas, because really the world is about them, not so much about us anymore, okay? The use of technology is consistent. If your child, and you're really serious, and this is what you want for your child, you will need to provide your child with some kind of a device to take to school. The ministry no longer allows phones in school buildings, right? Especially elementary schools. And unfortunately, phones never really worked very much for the kinds of skill sets and what we are looking for to do with students on a regular basis. So your child will need a laptop of some sort that they will be needing to bring back and forth to school with them. Only you know your child best. Therefore, we are not asking you to buy them the most expensive laptop on the planet. Some kids can handle that because they have the maturity, and some kids will forget it all over the building, right? So you as a parent need to make that distinction and decision for yourself. They need a device. What kind of a device you buy How expensive it is, that is up to you. But they will need it every single day. There is nothing that they don't do that is not online, right? A lot of the things that they access, well, a lot, I shouldn't say a lot. Everything that they access is going to be done digitally, right? They do almost no paper pen kinds of things. As well as even our school announcements are all on YouTube. So you are welcome to access them anytime. The kids love it when you sign up because our YouTube channel is Life at Lisgar, exactly that, Life at Lisgar. You can watch every single day all of the announcements. The students are themselves responsible for them. They do all of the backgrounds, they do all of the production, they do all of the on-air stuff, right? So again, they're here at 7:30 in the morning and that's their job. We just oversee them to make sure that they're adequately supervised. But everything else they do, that innovation comes from them. So anything that they render online, everything that they do comes from them. So they need the technology, right? So please understand that you're going to need to send them with stuff here, okay? Again, I'm not going to tell you how, that you don't have to buy the most expensive thing, but it needs to be something that they have. And they need to bring it every day. Okay? Okay? Again, teamwork, collaboration, critical thinking, all of those are really, really important skills, right? We are always working with students on a whole set of lifelong learning kinds of things. Because your child's going to go out into the world, and your child is going to have to adapt, now faster than we have ever needed to adapt as human beings, to the changing environment, right? So we try to provide students with lots of those experiences where the focus is the ability to learn that kinds of resiliency as a human being in order to be able to persevere with challenging things. Those are not just in terms of learning. Those are also in terms of your social interactions, right? Right? You have to work with other people. You can't get along in the world without working collaboratively with others. Does that always go well? Nope. Right? Do you have to kind of, as all of us at work, have to work through challenges? Absolutely. Is there a way around them? Nope. Right? You have to work through it. And that's what we focus on with the kids. Right? The collaboration, communication, right? How do we talk to each other? How do we do that in a way that it's actually going to be functional for us? Because otherwise, that's kind of problematic. Critical thinking, the problem solving, right? We don't know the answer. The solution may lie in what you come up with, right? As we said, creativity and innovation, and notice that in the actual challenge that they're going to be working on in the participation component, if you're looking for the skills, here they are, right? Citizenship, right? Your character in terms of, who are you as a person? That's what I'm saying to you. They need to just come in themselves. They need to just be genuine human beings because we're not judging them on, are you a good compliant child? That's not the point, right? It's not about compliance. It's about thinking critically, and it's about being able to come up with your own ideas and working with others in order to be able to problem solve something. So if they want to, they need to speak up and they've got some ideas and they need to get them out there, that's okay, right? We want them to be able to do all those kinds of things. So it's the global competencies, as they call them. Those are the components that we are always working on with students, right? And this will be all of the 3 years. It doesn't just happen in grade 6, it goes right through. And in different ways because they look at different components of things as they go. Okay, so important information. All of this will be posted online for you, so please don't feel like you have to strain your eyes right now or anything else. All of this will be posted, and the application dates are the same for all of the Regional Learning Choices programs. It's the February 26th date, that's the one that I want you to remember, because we need you here on that day. So the information nights are happening, as you know, right now. The application period is from today up until February 6th, and that's when the applications close. So they close at 3 p.m. Please remember that. Lots of parents will call me afterwards. They're like, oh my God, we missed a date. Like, we missed a time, we missed a date. Unfortunately, there's nothing I can do for you because this is centrally done. I would love to help you, but there's nothing I can personally do. This is all done centrally. So, if you want to call me, sure, I can feel badly with you, but, there's really nothing that I personally can do. Okay? The first rounds of acceptance after the participation component will come out April 3rd, right? After 3 p.m. because we don't want your child to get that email while they're at school. Right? That's also not always very nice when they're like, oh, my goodness, right? So that will come out, and they will know whether or not they have had an acceptance or they're on the wait list, right? In those components, okay? So as I said, we have many, many students who apply, just like every Regional Learning Choices program. And then I know you will ask me, well, how many students apply? It can depend from year to year. It could be 300, it could be 600 students apply, but always it's somewhere in between that, right? That's about the number of applicants, and we take 56. So let's say, don't forget, your child is applying here, and your child is probably applying, and you are with your child applying because they're in grade 5, they're not doing this by themselves, right? You're probably applying to a variety of different programs, right? So your child may get an acceptance here and get an acceptance at another school. You will need to make a choice at that point. Once you make the choice, as soon as you do, your child will then be taken off the list at another school. That will open up a space for another child who's on the wait list. And the wait list is actually, we go in order. So if you're number 1, you will be the first one that in the second round, right? So everybody always asks as well. So what happens? Do you cut anybody before, the participation component? No. Everybody who applies will participate in the participation component. They will all do it, right? After that, their report card marks and all of that is inputted, and it is done as a kind of a random selection. We don't do it here in the school. It's nothing we do. Again, it's done centrally. It's done as a random selection. So again, that's out of our control, and it should be random because we're not looking to, we're not just picking this one, that one, right? So anybody, any student who meets the threshold, right, from their marks and the participation component, those combined, any student who makes the threshold is actually put into the random selection process, right? Okay? We'll answer questions at the end if you have any of them as well, right, for you, if there's anything specific that you need to know about. So if your child is successful with their marks and with the participation component, they will go into the random selection process. And after that, it is out of our hands, right? And then you will receive whether or not you're on the wait list, whether or not your child's been accepted, which school, and all of that. So a lot of the times we do go down the wait list. We don't always get down all the way through our wait list, but things happen. For example, we've had students who, their parents are like, yeah, and then something changes in parents' jobs, they move out of the region, so a spot opens up. So this year, unlike previous years, we actually are going to keep the wait list open right up into September. Before, we used to close it off in June, but now we're going to keep it open right into September. So, there's always an opportunity. But please pay attention to all of those dates in that respect, because there's a second round of acceptance, right? And then it closes, and then there is the wait list. So we go through first round, second round, and then we start down the wait list, right? So can you call me to find out where you are on the wait list? Yes, that I can tell you. Or at least we used to be able to tell people, and hopefully in our new system, we will also be able to tell you. So for example, if you're number 200 on the wait list for IBT, and you are number 2 in Sci-Tech, what are the chances that you will get a spot in Sci-Tech? Way better, right? So those are also practical kinds of decisions that you will then make, right? I'm just being honest with you, right? Because all of those things, they play a role. Okay. All right, so as we've said that to you, please make sure you save the address, the password. I've already told you that, so that's all really good. Okay, so when you, in the application process, I think some of you have already done the application process. right? Before you even came to the info night, which is really great, okay? So you enter a student number if you're a current PDSB student, right? Your report cards will automatically be uploaded. So if your child is already a PEAL student, you don't have to worry about anything. If your child is not a PEAL student, if they are, let's say, a different PEAL student, or they're in a private school, you will need to send us the report card. Will email that to us, and then we will upload all of the marks and everything else from that, right? Because we don't have an internal way of getting that information, right? So if you're not a PEAL District School Board student, you will need to send us that information. So many of your children probably have an individual education plan if they are considered enhanced or gifted. We don't know that information. So if your child has an individual education plan, please make sure that you send it to us before the participation component. Because if your child needs anything, like a different accommodation, they need something modified, we need to know that, right? So if they have an individual education plan, please email it to us so that we can go through it and make sure that we set your child up for success, right? And if that doesn't apply to you, that's okay too, okay? So you must upload copies of your grade 4 final report if you're not in the PDSB, and your grade 5 progress reports and in term 1 reports if you have them. Okay, as I said to you, the Learning Choices programs, the non-refundable $40 that you're paying for the application fee, it really does go for processing your application fee, because we process 500 applications at the school level. Our teachers actually, we need to pay for supply teachers so that they can actually do that, right? It's quite a bit of work. So that's actually where it goes towards. So again, it gets spent right back on the students, okay? If you need assistance with any of the components of the application fees or anything else, please let the principal at your school know, at the school where your child is right now. They will let us know. We will do what we need to do then, okay? All right. Okay. This is another question that many parents have. If my child is in IBT, will my child be automatically in IBT in high school? No. They will have to go through the same process, and then they will apply. They may decide that at that point they want to try a different regional learning choices program, okay? And I just want to put it out there for you. Let's say your child is not successful at middle school in getting into the regional learning choices program. The doors are not closed to your child becoming a doctor, a lawyer, or an engineer, or whatever else you want them to be, right? We have regional learning choices programs here in the Peel District School Board. No other board does in Ontario. So there are lots of successful doctors, lawyers, entrepreneurs who came out of other different school boards. Your child is not, please don't put that pressure on your child. They can be equally successful, even if they don't in high school go into a regional learning choices program, right? So it's okay. If your child is in one, awesome. If they're not, they're going to have a great experience no matter what they do, because your child is probably a child who shows all of those skills anyways, and they will do great wherever they go, right? So please don't tell them that, this is not something that they can't do, or this is really not the end of the world, okay? So, in the random selection process, as we talked about, in terms of that two-step process, right, the report card marks are reviewed with any participation component assessment, and then it's the random selection, as I said to you. But if your child meets the cutoff, then automatically they're in the random selection process, okay? In terms of self-identification, please also note that all African, Black, Afro-Caribbean, and Indigenous to Turtle Island students who self-identify and meet the criteria for admission will be accepted into the program without participating in the random selection. Right? Right. So we kind of talked about the offers and the wait list, right? So said to you, they might be on many lists, they might be on some lists, and all of those are the things that you can then, you can ask questions about. Where am I on the wait list? And make decisions around what works for your families, right? So, as we said to you, it's 56 students, and the random selection process is not up to us, so please don't be mad, right? Okay? So once an offer has been accepted, so all other applications and offers will be withdrawn because they become null and void, right? So as we said, in terms of multiple programs, if you choose this program, then any other program in which your child was also successful in the process is no longer applicable. Okay? Every program has an annual learning, has a fee, and as we said, generally it's a $200 fee per year. You are not paying that before, we will ask you to pay that in the fall, right? When your child actually starts at the school. And as we said, what are you paying for? You're paying for all of the opportunities that your child has accessible to them so that they can cover those. All right, the best part, right, is the transportation policy. So if your child, regardless in the catchment, wherever they live, they will be accessing school busing, right? However, sometimes that busing takes a bit of time, right? Because depending on where you live, some of those buses now have to travel kind of a long way. So please be prepared for that. A lot of our families also drive their kids. Some of them carpool. There's a lot of different ways that they get here because sometimes the bus is something that is convenient and sometimes it's not. It tends to be more convenient in the morning, but a lot of the times kids are involved in all kinds of extracurriculars after school. So again, they might be here way longer than the course of the day. And you're also asking, what are the hours of the school so that you can also make those decisions, right? Our school starts at 8:25. 8:25 is when students are in class. So students can be dropped off. Supervision starts at 8:10 a.m. We finish at 2:25, right? So the day seems short, but the kids are here for quite a lot longer afterwards. So again, it depends sort of on what is available to you, right? And those things that you're going to make adjustments for in terms of your own personal needs. Okay? So the private school busing used to be something that our LCP parents used to do. They would pay for private busing themselves. It's still an option. However, again, that depends. If that's more convenient for you, that's your option. We're just here to tell you these are the options. Okay? So, if you have questions, we will be able to answer some of them tonight. If not, you can call the school directly. Okay? You can email us. There's an IBT email. There's as well as the Lisgar general email, which is lisgar.ms@peelsb.com. If you email us there as well, we'll be able to respond to you. Or if you need to leave us information, we'll be able to respond to you. Leave us your phone number. We'll be able to call you back. Please understand that we get inundated with questions, so we haven't been able to answer your question immediately. We're doing it as fast as we can. Right? All right. So here we go. I think that, right? Our phone number, our fax, our school website, our YouTube channel, right? And Lisgar Middle School, all of that information, our school website, all are there. And these will be posted for you. So again, don't worry, you'll be able to access all of this information after the fact. Right? Okay. So as I said, a lot of our students participate in a variety of different components. So I'm going to call some of them up so that you can talk about some of them. And they're looking over there looking a little scared. So come on up. I know you've been waiting all night. You're like, when are you going to let us talk?
Hi, my name is Thompson. I'm in 6A IBT. When I first heard about IBT, I got really excited. Even though it's my first year in IBT, I already love it. The environment, the people, and everything we learn and do makes me proud to be a member of IBT. The teachers are really nice, and we learn and do many cool things in and out of class, like going on cool trips, doing fun challenges, and collaborating with each other. Some advice I would give to a person considering entering the IBT program is to expect the unexpected. Thank you.
Now, hello everybody. My name is Karan and I'm a grade 7 IBT student. I've been a part of the IBT program for a year and a half now, and it's offered me numerous opportunities that I've really enjoyed. So like, why should you guys join IBT? Well, firstly, IBT has many hands-on activities which allow students to express their creativity. And an example of this is this year in grade 7 we did many projects such as language and geography, where students had to create models and dioramas, which helped them express their creativity and make it their own. So something I'm particularly excited for this year is the food truck frenzy. Now, for those who are unfamiliar with the food truck frenzy, it's basically a competition where groups choose a food or beverage of their choice and sell it to the student body, teachers, and parents at Lisgar. Now, this not only teaches the students about business, but also allows them to share their cultural backgrounds and also allows them to share their passion in cooking. Now, something else I'm also excited about this year is the Muskoka trip. Now, the Muskoka field trip will allow students to take on leadership roles, collaborate with their peers, and enhance their communication skills. And along with this, it'll also allow the students to try new things, such as going